this is my PB, I think. If you've ever wondered how to train as a professional rugby player 2 days before a game, so Thursday today and I go to game Saturday, how we train and how the professionals train, I am here with rugby legend. And I'm with Sam Warburton, 2 times Lion captain, Grand Slam winner. I'm in Cardiff and I'm here visiting SW7's brand new gym, and he is going to show me how his programs helps him as an individual and all the other rugby players get better and better each week and also prepare best for a game on Saturday. This is an upper body session, so really looking forward to this, and I'm looking forward to seeing how strong and how powerful he is. So let's go check it out. Yeah, so just inside the SW7 Academy, brand new setup here with Sam Warburton. We've got Jamin, we've got Gas, and we've got Josh. So Sam's just going to talk us through what we're doing. We've got a game on Saturday.
I really like to give this advice because a lot of people do too much. So it's like, no, you actually got to rein it back. So we're going to start off with only 2 sets of each exercise, a superset to start with. This is going to be a bit more explosive, so more kind of power stuff. Then we're going to move on to some strength work. We've got a dead stop bench press and some single arm row. And then we're just going to do a little bit of overhead press and some face pull as well. We'll talk you through it as we go through it. Not too much volume, just power and strength, and that'll tee you up nicely going into Saturday.
Why wouldn't I do any sort of like a bodybuilding session? Why would I do this instead?
Main reason is you're going to get a bit of muscle soreness from that. If you're at the start of the week and say you played your game on a Saturday, you come into the gym Monday, Tuesday, you feel okay, that's maybe an opportunity you can do a little bit higher volume stuff. But when you're only 2 days out, you just want to get power stimulus, strength stimulus. It's not like you have to do a certain rep range to build muscle, but you just don't want to spike too much volume so you're sore for the game.
Looks good, mate. Looks good. Looking forward to it.
Let's get into it.
Yes. So just doing a little bit of a warm up, yeah. That's the weight I usually do for my curls.
I'd always recommend for upper body doing like just even if it's just 6 sets of prehab. It's just good for shoulder health, and plus because we're going to go into a pretty dynamic movement to start, you don't want cold shoulders and start throwing barbells and slamming balls. So just look after the shoulders. It only takes 5 minutes, and I promise you, you'll get that back in your session as well. 10 wise again, so now arms nice and straight. That's it, that's perfect. Should be feeling that sort of like in your traps right down the middle of your back here. Yeah, that's it, right down the middle. We'll do the same swimmers one, but just for somebody who hasn't done it before. So if you go on your chest and do it, it gives you really good feedback doing it on the floor, because if you touch the floor, your elbows aren't high enough. And then just do press ahead of you like a shoulder press. That's it, perfect. And try and keep your elbows and hands off the floor. If you're doing it on a bench, sometimes your arms can be a bit low and you don't get the feedback from the ground. So if you're new to this exercise and you're not sure how it should feel, drop your chest on the floor, do what Ben's doing, and make sure your arms don't touch the ground and you know you're doing it really well. So I'll do this for 5 minutes for every session. If I train 3 times a week, that's 1/4 of an hour of solid upper body work. So like prehab. So that's what I mean, rather than like dedicating a whole separate 20-minute session in your week, just do a little bit before each session, that's fine. We've just finished off then with a bit of thoracic mobility. We can do this together, take 1 minute. So on all knees, and just basically just twisting up, just 5 each arm.
Especially like your average rugby player who's not a professional, sitting at a desk all day.
Oh, big time.
Or school all day.
Oh, it helps your posture massively.
That's the thing I've found mostly since finishing and doing a lot of computer work, my top of my back.
Oh, you like this? Yeah. And that's why in the session we got something called face pulls to finish off. Because a lot of people like to push more than they pull. So I imagine some people listening might think, oh, actually, yeah, I do probably like 6 sets or 10 sets of push. And I do like 6 sets of pull. You should actually pull more than you push for good shoulder integrity.
Yeah,
so last one, Ben, we'll just do a 20-second stretch to the lats, and it increases that range of motion in your thoracic as well. So just hold this for 10 to 20 seconds, then we'll be ready to rock. So when people got shoulder pain, I'd be like, have you done prehab for 5 minutes 3 times a week for your session? And most people go, no, I haven't. I'm like, that's why you got shoulder pain, mate. Better off doing, if you're training for 50 minutes, rather than do 50 minutes of weights, do 45 minutes of weights and 5 minutes of prehab. I promise you, in the long run, you'll be way better for it. Right, so we'll get into the session now, Ben. So what we'll do is we only do 2 sets of each because it's more power. We don't need to do, some people flood themselves with 4 sets of power. You don't really need to. We just do 3 Medball Slams. Because it's an upper body session, we want to isolate our back and lats. So rather than like curling over and throwing it, you almost want to kind of isolate your back muscles so it's directly up and just launch it down with your arms because that's going to use your lat and back muscles. So try and break that ball. The emphasis is really on the intent. You don't just want to sort of slam it at 50%. You're going to get no benefit from that. Unless it's max effort, you're not going to get the power output that you want and the power development that you want. Just 3 reps. We're going to do landmine throws here. Now you can do this standing up, but the thing is when you're standing up, you often bring your legs into it. Great for a full body session, but if we're strictly going for just an upper body session, we'll do it on our knees because it takes our arms out of it. I'm just going to throw it, I'm not going to release it. Just going to press it up as hard as I can, so controlled on the way down, and throw it up, just 3 reps.
I was going to think I was going to be catching it.
Yeah, you can do. If you're standing up, you generate a bit more power because this is quite, if you're on your knees, it's a little bit more shoulder emphasis.
Okay.
If you stand up, obviously the angle of your arm to your chest, it becomes a little bit more chesty. So it's a little bit more shoulder work. With this, it's not about ego lifting, so don't try and get like heavy weight on here. It's much more about speed because it's the power emphasis that we want. So don't slug it up with 40 kilos, that's not what we're after. Lightweight, move it quick. 3 is plenty as long as it's max effort. So you see some people might be doing power, kind of like I said with the med balls, and they'd be a bit like this. It's like, no, it's got to be like, you've got to like literally slam it 100% every rep. Otherwise, you're not going to get that power adaptation that you want. So max effort every time.
And how would I know then if I'm doing this, how would I know to go a little bit heavier because I feel comfortable?
If you were going to up this, I wouldn't go upping it by 10 kilo. I'd probably chuck a biscuit on, like a 2.5 kilo. If that's starting to move really quick and it feels easy, move it up. But the moment that starts to feel like you can't release it, it's probably too heavy. So you want to feel like you can release it if you want, but you're stopping yourself from releasing it. So typically with bench press, it gets a bit easier as the move goes up. So we add a band, because as the band extends, the tension increases. So it makes sure that the move stays hard as the band extends. So we don't want to go too heavy on this. Like I say, we're only 2 days out from a game. So we're only going to go 3 reps. Similar again, max intent. Not quite as light as the landmine. So it's sort of that middle, kind of what we like, well, it's technical speed strength type work. So only 3 reps. And what we don't want close to a game, the eccentric part of a move, which is the part on the way down, that's typically what causes a lot of DOMs. So we've got it set up on this, so it's called a dead stop bench. So all you have to worry about is the concentric phase of the movement. Max effort again, just drop it back down. It's a nice one as well, you don't really need a spotter, so it's a good one.
Nice, mate.
There you go, just 3 reps.
Again, intent, move a bar as fast as you can.
Same again, only 3 reps, but I want you to move it as fast as you can. The intent that you want.
This is my PB, I think.
Single arm rows. So this is just strength work, heavy dumbbell, 5 reps. So this one, a lot of people do like to... A lot of people like to put their knee up when they single arm row, but I personally prefer to do it with your feet off the bench because it just makes you use your hips better, you just a bit more core activation. So you can have a bit of a split stance if you want, you can have a square stance. I personally quite like the square stance, particularly when it's for rugby. I find me as a back row player as well, I'm in that stance a lot, you know, whether it's in like a ruck position, a jackal position, a scrum position. So for forwards, not that you don't really get too much forward specific training, but rather than do a knee on the bench, I'd rather just have a 3-point stance like this and then just roll like that, making sure you keep your hips nice and square and solid.
Yes, in a more of a game specific position
More
there,
specific.
in your Jacqueline type of...
Exactly.
And again, you said 5 each side, is it?
Just 5 each side, 3 sets of 5, that's plenty. So you can do dumbbell press, it's no problem, but I like doing the dead stop, and I'd rather do, say, dumbbell shoulders early in the week. Like I say, because you're taking out you have got an eccentric phase, you are lowering it. You can drop it on there. When you're doing like high reps, lots of slow eccentric reps, that's when you get that soreness. You don't want to be doing shoulder presses for 10 reps, nice and slow on the way down. Fine at the start of the week when you've got time to recover, but But on a Thursday, if you're doing that, you're going to go line out lift on a Saturday and you're going to be like, oh my God, my shoulders are sore. So don't do too much volume on a Thursday. It's one of the biggest mistakes we see from more novice trainers.
So you played New Zealand Lions on a Saturday. This is a type of session that you would have done on a Thursday before?
Yeah, so I'm getting, when you look at this, not including the power moves, then that's not going to build muscle. That's just more explosive. You're only looking at 6 sets of push, 6 sets of pull, and they're all in that strength rep range, so they're not going to really fatigue you. Like if you're reasonably well trained, 3 to 6 reps isn't going to really dom you up. You know, you're not going to get, DOMS, delayed onset muscle soreness. Yeah. You're not going to really get soreness. So you've got to think, if you train on a Thursday, you've got 6 quality push sets in, 6 quality pull sets in, and then you eat well for 48 hours, you'll recover in time to play, you know. But if you change that to, you're doing 9 sets of push, 9 sets of pull, 10 to 15 reps on each, you've suddenly just, you've gone way too much volume. Like I said, start of the week maybe, but not on a Thursday. That would be way too much for a Thursday.
Yeah, I always felt towards the end of the week, just moving quick. I just felt so much better on the pitch.
Just feel good, yeah. But maybe some of your young followers, like if you're training on your own as well, same with the bench press, you don't have to worry a whole lot about a spotter because you've got these arms as well. So when you go in like strength overhead, I'm always a little bit nervous people doing that if they're a novice trainer on their own, because I've seen people go up. I've been in gyms, they've gone up and they've gone backwards. Oh, no, it's shocking. So when you're in this sort of environment, it's just safe. You can lift in a strength rep range without a spotter. So it's the best of both worlds, really. So let's dead stop here, press it up, drop it back down. Take the weight, let the weight come off. Don't sort of touch and rep.
Okay, relax to the bottom.
Yeah, let it come off because you want that weight to be dead, hence the word dead stop bench. And then, boom, press it solid. Nice, back up again.
Okay. I think I got the chin for this one, mate. You tuck it in.
I got to clear it past my nose as well.
And the nose, yeah.
This is kind of rear shoulder again. We started off with some prehab type work, but this is probably one of the most underrated exercises I think out there. I do this pretty much every upper body session. So it's just a face pull. The reason it's called a face pull is you keep your elbows nice and high and just pull it towards your face. We don't want your elbows down here, then it just turns into a low row and you're just going to start using your lats. If you flare your elbows, so if your elbows are tight, you can see you're using all this musculature up here. If your elbows drop, it becomes a lat move, which we don't want. So you want those elbows nice and high, you're pulling towards your face and using all your rear delts and traps. And this is really good for negating shoulder pain. You know, you're talking about sitting at the desk all day.
Yeah.
If people want to correct their posture and just try, I'm not saying here, just a disclaimer, it's going to get rid of shoulder pain, but if you do your 5 minutes prep and you do face pulls, just 3 sets of 8 to 10, I promise you your shoulders in the long term will feel so much better for it. And plus you get some nice juicy traps doing this as well. Who doesn't want juicy traps?
How was that? Mate. Yeah, cheers for that.
Oh,
feeling ready, feeling good.
Good to roll back the years a bit, wasn't it?
Yeah, I mean, I love training like that.
The one thing I would say though, is great now. The training is the stimulus. Now you've got 48 hours to recover from that. Like you have to eat enough calories, good quality food, definitely get your protein in. And then, because the next 2 days, that's when you're gonna recover, rebuild from this and get stronger, more powerful. So don't think that, oh, I'm just gonna do 3 1-hour sessions in the gym. It's getting the meals in outside the gym, which is going to help you grow and develop into a better athlete as well. So really good stimulus, put the right fuel in you and you'll be gold.
And then your programs, then they cover everything leading up to the game, to what, pre-season, off weeks and everything?
Everything, yeah. We have like a strength and power development plan, which would be much more along what we just did today. That would be typically for in-season. And then you've got pre-season plans as well. Pre-season is very different because you don't have a game on a weekend to factor for, so you can add more volume, and that's a really good opportunity for 3 months to probably try and put a bit more size on than you normally would in season, because you can't do that much volume, obviously, in season. So yeah, pre-season and in season, nice mix of both. Factors whether they have a game or not. So yeah, we can help them out whatever they want to do.
Class, mate. Again,
Legend.
thanks ever so much.
Nice
Thanks
one,
for having me
Danny.
down.
No worries.
Top
Good to see
man.
you again. See you soon.
So there we have it, session done. Hopefully you enjoyed that. Absolutely love that. That's the type of session I adore. It's just a lot of power work to start with and then minimal amount of reps, so happy days. And I got a game Saturday, so I'm fresh and ready to get into it. If you're looking to train more specifically for rugby, make sure you click up here and you get a 7-day free training guide with SW7 Academy. And also you can click the link in the description below. And again, subscribe to my YouTube channel for more rugby tips, drills and insights to get you a better player. Let's go.